There comes a point in every life where a quiet decision is made, not in front of the crowd, not announced on social media, not celebrated with applause. No, this one happens alone, in the dark, when you're tired, when you're tempted, when no one would know the difference. And in that moment, you either choose pleasure or you choose purpose. It doesn't feel dramatic at the time. It doesn't look like destiny when it arrives. But make no mistake, that choice defines the entire trajectory of your life. Because pleasure whispers, just this once. But purpose says, not today. Pleasure wants to feel good now. Purpose wants to become someone great later. Pleasure trades your future for a moment. Purpose sacrifices the moment for your future. And this is the quiet war every person must fight. It starts young. You want to fit in. You want to have fun. You want to take the easy way like everyone else. You're told to follow your passion, to live a little, to enjoy life. But what they don't tell you is this: too much comfort now creates suffering later. They don't tell you that skipping your potential has a cost, that indulgence, when repeated, turns to regret, that every shortcut has a shadow. Because when you choose pleasure over purpose, you get temporary freedom, but long-term chains. You laugh now, but cry later. You relax now, but panic when the bills arrive. You celebrate mediocrity, but ache with emptiness when the mirror won't lie anymore. It doesn't happen all at once, but over time, the weight builds, the habits calcify, the direction becomes permanent. And one day you look up and realize you traded who you could have become for a handful of easy moments. Purpose is not exciting at first. Let's just tell the truth. It doesn't come with a dopamine rush. It's not sexy. It doesn't get likes. It often looks like sacrifice. Early mornings, late nights, turning down what's popular for what's right. But purpose will give you something pleasure never can: respect, self-respect, clarity, peace, direction, legacy. See, pleasure disappears as soon as it arrives. You scroll, you snack, you binge, you spend, and then what? But purpose? Purpose compounds. Purpose builds. Purpose transforms. Because when your life is aligned with something greater than the moment, you stop asking what feels good right now, and you start asking, what kind of person do I want to become? Most people never ask that question, and even fewer answer it with action. It's easier to numb than it is to grow, easier to react than reflect, easier to consume than to create, but easy is rarely honest. And what's easy now is often hard forever. So if you're tired of drifting, tired of the anxiety that pleasure leaves behind, tired of starting over every Monday, then let this sink in. You cannot become who you were meant to be if you keep worshiping comfort. There is no greatness without discipline. There is no peace without structure. There is no transformation without intentional pain. You want meaning? Earn it. You want freedom? Build it. You want a legacy? Suffer for it. Because you will suffer either way. The question is just whether you'll suffer with purpose or without it. This is not about being a martyr. This is not about denying all joy. It's about alignment. It's about hierarchy. Pleasure isn't the enemy. Priority is. Pleasure has its place after the work is done, after the mission is honored, after the soul is fed. But when pleasure becomes the goal, purpose becomes the casualty. And if you kill purpose long enough, you kill you. That quiet ache inside you, that restless boredom you try to silence, that anxiety that follows you even on vacation. It's not a lack of entertainment. It's the absence of alignment. Your soul doesn't want more pleasure. It wants direction. And that's the tragedy. So many people live their whole lives chasing comfort, while purpose waits patiently in the background, hand raised, asking, when will you finally be ready to become who you're supposed to be? Not for applause. Not for approval, not for ego, but because you owe it to the breath in your lungs, to the time you've been given, to the people counting on you, and to the person inside you who still believes you were meant for more. And maybe no one's ever told you this, so let me say it clear. You were not born to consume and coast. You were born to build, to grow, to rise, and to lead, to become something, someone of substance. You are not a slave to appetite. You are not a machine made to chase stimulation. You are a human being, gifted with consciousness, with spirit, with will. Don't waste it on cheap highs. The world will try to sell you distraction, entertainment, pleasure, convenience. But you must look deeper and ask, at what cost? Because if the price of pleasure is your calling, if the price of comfort is your character, if the price of fun is your future, then it's too expensive. The great mistake is not that people fail, it's that they never choose a worthy aim. They never say, this is what I'm here to build. This is the path I'll walk, no matter what it costs. They never burn the ships. They leave the back door open. They compromise when it's hard and wonder why it never gets easier. But if you truly want to change, if you want to wake up and look in the mirror with pride, then the answer is simple. You must choose purpose over pleasure. Today, tomorrow, and every time the war rises again inside you. Because pleasure will never fulfill you. Not for long. Not in the way that becoming someone great will. Purpose asks for more, yes, but it gives you everything in return. Peace, power, progress, and pride. Not the kind that shouts, but the kind that stands tall when no one's watching. So choose discomfort now, so you don't live in regret later. Choose sacrifice now, so you don't suffer mediocrity for decades. Choose discipline now, so you can live free then. The world doesn't need more pleasure seekers. It needs builders, leaders, examples. The kind of people who show what it means to live with fire in their belly and truth in their bones. That can be you. Not someday. Now. But only if you stop chasing the moment and start building the mission. Purpose first, pleasure second. That's the order. That's the path. That's the gateway. And it's open, but only for those willing to walk through. You won't hear this message often. Not in a world obsessed with the now. Not in a culture built on speed, ease, and validation. The algorithms don't reward discipline. The trends don't celebrate sacrifice. The crowd doesn't cheer for self-mastery. But you're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to outgrow it. Because something in you, something ancient, something awake, knows there's more. More than scrolling. More than chasing. More than feeling good for 5 minutes and empty for 5 hours. Something in you is tired of being numb, tired of being entertained to death, tired of standing still in a life that was meant to move with purpose. You were born for challenge. You were made for pursuit. You were designed to overcome. Not because it's easy, but because the becoming is sacred. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are not too far gone. But you are responsible now for the direction of your life, for the architecture of your character, for the story that you are writing every single day through your choices. And that story must begin with a choice of allegiance. Will you serve pleasure or will you serve purpose? Look around. The evidence is everywhere. Pleasure leads to addiction. Purpose leads to freedom. Pleasure offers escape. Purpose offers transformation. Pleasure fades fast. Purpose lasts. And yet, the choice never ends. Because life doesn't ask you once. It asks you every morning when the alarm goes off. It asks you when you're tired, when you're lonely, when no one's watching. It asks you when the shortcuts look easier than the climb. And every single time, you answer. Not with words, but with action. You either hit snooze or you rise. You either numb the pain or you face it. You either drift with emotion or steer with conviction. That's the real scoreboard. That's the quiet math of your character. Let me say something you already know, but may have forgotten. There is no victory without war. And this war, it's internal. It's not fought with weapons. It's fought with choices, with routines, with standards, with relentless self-honesty. And in that war, the enemy is seductive. It comes dressed as rest, as reward, as indulgence, as ease. But make no mistake, it is after your destiny. It wants your edge. It wants your focus. It wants your soul on autopilot. That's why you must become something sharper than the temptation, something rooted, something forged, something immovable. Purpose is not a feeling, it is a decision. And once you decide, the war changes. You stop playing defense, you stop running, you become the architect, you become the storm. And yes, people will misunderstand you. They'll call you intense, too serious, too disciplined. Let them, because they don't see what you see. They don't carry what you carry. They don't feel the fire that wakes you up and won't let you settle. They don't have to understand your purpose. They weren't assigned to it, you were. So walk it, honor it, protect it, build around it, build a routine that supports it, build a life that reflects it, build habits that sharpen it. Because when the day comes, and it will, when you're tired and questioning if it was all worth it, you'll look around and see the harvest, not just in results, but in who you've become. Someone disciplined, someone clear, someone built, not borrowed, someone no longer ruled by fleeting highs, but guided by unchanging principles. So ask yourself, not someday but now, what do I serve? What do I build? What kind of life am I silently becoming through my habits today? And if the answers are hard, good. That means you're ready to change. That means you're ready to finally step into the person you were designed to become. Because purpose doesn't demand perfection. It demands alignment, consistency, courage. And that is available to you right now. So if you're listening to this, this is your moment, not a coincidence, not another video to save and forget. This is your reminder, your wake-up call, your line in the sand. Pleasure will wait, but your purpose will not. Choose it, fight for it, live for it, because the world does not need more comfort chasers. It needs warriors of discipline, builders of legacy, people who carry weight, not because it's easy, but because it matters. And now you know the truth. Purpose over pleasure. Always. Again. Forever.